Actually, if you want to make a perfect cup of tea, and maybe you guys know that, you do tea first.
Yes.
Water, tea, you let it brew and shika nicely.
Then you mwaga
the water. Has she done this way? I'm thinking, okay. Then she takes tea in her hand and pours a little bit and throws it in. Not even a tipimaing, just pimaing with the hand. And then
we always have that. It's like a miracle. It's like
a miracle, whatever. And then she passes it under the tap for water. I'm like, no wonder my tea can't shika. Because we do the African tea, which is very, very, it has a lot of milk, and milk now doesn't allow the tea to brew. So I went back to the office and I told them, this is the problem. We think people make tea this way, but people make tea this way.
The other way around.
Yeah, so that's when now we went and had to increase change our blend so that we now get tea that can actually do better when you do it in this manner. Do you know what percentage we use to make decisions between ration and emotion? How much of, when you're making a decision, what percentage would you give emotion and ration? Logic.
I think logic at times takes maybe 3% of a big chunk is always the emotional part.
Yeah, it's 95-5. Emotion is 95.
Oof.
Then you use the 5 to justify the emotion, the 95. So you're very right. If you do business thinking about how people make decisions, you will definitely get a better product or service market fit easily.
Is 50-50 a concept?
It can be. And I think it totally depends on who you have. Because there's some people, their egos are so big that if they're not let's say it's a man, if they're not the ones providing, they feel less of a man. So again, if that is your partner, then you have to respect that and let them provide. So it really, really depends on it. And I say that's what I talk about. It's about knowing your partner. But also the decision you make on who your partner is one of the biggest decisions you make in your life. And it can be a make or break decision. So I keep telling people, be careful, think it through, take your time. Yeah.
Imperial Gardens Kikuyu by Username Properties. Just 15 minutes from Kikuyu town, get your 8th acre plot for just 1.249 million shillings. SMS plot to 20321 or call 0725 000 222.
Ladies and gentlemen, another beautiful time I'm coming live on your TV, live on your tablet, live on your phone. My name is the Eagle himself, the Duke of Kakamega. Dr. Ofweneke is my name. And it's such a pleasure, always, of course. And Asanteni is the new family that I keep on joining us on Lessons at 30 on Dr. Ofweneke TV. Asanteni is to all of our subscribers. We cannot do this without you. And of course, you guys give me the energy to just come up here every single day. You guys put pressure on me to always make sure I get the best of minds and the best of voices all across all spheres of life. And I just want to thank you guys for the support. Asanteni sana. Of course, those who watched Omanyala's episode on the last episode, thank you so much. I see the Jimmy Wanjigi conversation is still going and trending. Guys are still asking themselves, what are core values? I now know what core values are. So now the conversation is still on you. Do you now know what your core values are? Ladies and gentlemen. And of course, tonight, I'll be hosting our guest lecturer on Lessons at 30 today. My goodness, as such a bubbly person, a happy soul, I think I loved the energy once just came into the studio, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what tea is on your table. I don't know what tea is in your pantry. I don't know what tea you consumed in the morning. But as a lawyer, tea being in my blood, I have to go to the best. I have to go for the best of quality. Ladies and gentlemen, You have always been consuming one of the best and the biggest brands, of course, when it comes to tea across the world, Melvin's. Today, you're going to be seeing the face behind Melvin's tea. But before you get there, lazima tununue shamba. Wewe, lazima tununue shamba. Usikae hapo na kunywa chai comfortably miguu juu ya meza na una chamba. Go to Username Properties. We're still selling a piece of land at Imperial Gardens. Of course, that is on Kikuyu at 1.2 million Kenyan shillings. The amenities are there. Karibu na barabara, bypass, kuna kanisa, kuna mashule. It's a beautiful place to live in. I don't know what you're waiting for. Get yourself there, all right? And those of us sending money from UK, we are almost getting to Christmas. You need to prepare yourself. Ukikujapo sikuja kunaanza kutafuta ng'ombe na mbuzi. Yetu unaweza nunua mbuzi na ng'ombe saa hii ianze kukula na inenepe by the time you're coming back home. So send your people money back at home for them to start preparing for the Christmas session. Na wale wase mlikuwa hapa the last time mlikuwa hapa ni December. Mkaacha nyumba haijaisha na unataka kuja na saa hii kunanyesha hujamaliza nyumba. Tuma pesa nyumbani, nyumba ianze kumaliziwa. You can only do that on the safest mode of sending money from UK and Europe back at home, either to a till number or even to a bank account. And that can only be Limfe. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't waste too much of your time. This book that I'm holding has been forwarded by one of my most... I don't want to call him a mentor because...
You don't want to say who's written it first?
No, we're getting there. Really. I am the founder of the podcast. You are the founder of Melvin's. Now, the person who forwarded this book is a gentleman that I admire. One of the best orators and public speakers, and of course, a branding and marketing expert, ladies and gentlemen, Vusi Thembekwayo, all the way from South Africa. But as he was forwarding the book, do you know who he was forwarding the book? Do you know who's the author of the book? Ladies and gentlemen, Madam Flora Mutahi. This is, I've checked her profile. There's so much I would have said, but I guess we're going to know who exactly she is from her story. But this amazing lady is the founder of Melvin's Tea. I have been consuming this tangawizi because of my voice and events. So I always want something smooth for my kashingo. And I've been consuming it. And all this time, I didn't know, first of all, that Melvin's is actually a Kenyan brand. And number two, I didn't know that it is a lady behind the idea. So if kama mko kunywa hii chai, and different, and this is the lady who came up with a flavored tea. So wachana na hawa wengine walikopi. Yeye ndiye alikuja kwanza na hiyo idea. So there's tangawizi chai. Then there's Melvin's tangawizi tingle. This is what I normally take. If you go into my pantry right now, this is what I actually have part of my shopping every end month. Ladies and gentlemen, it is such an honor and a pleasure. A public speaker, a founder, an entrepreneur, and of course, she's been part of various boards, of course, just spearheading matters about leadership management and even vision as well. And today, I have the honor of hosting her on Lessons at 30. Ladies and gentlemen, and I hope my daughters are watching because she has put what is straight for you as a girl child. This is the epitome of it all. Ladies and gentlemen, Madam Flora Mutahi.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome. You are welcome. Karibu sana.
Yeah.
You get angry?
Yes, I do.
You don't look like.
Yeah, I do. I can have a very short temper. I just don't blow up too much.
What do you do when you get angry?
I try and process what is going on. Mm-hmm. And then I try and ask myself, what part do I play in this? Mm-hmm. And then I go and try and sort it out. If it is something bigger than me, I just walk away.
Let me ask, would you apologize to your staff if you did something? Maybe it was a miscommunication, a misconception. Maybe as a boss, as a founder, maybe there's something. Kuna kitu hukuelewa.
Well, today, yes. Earlier on, no.
Why?
I guess earlier on, maybe I spent too much time blaming them. They didn't get it. They didn't understand it, whatever. So I felt justified. I guess I was young. I was learning. But today with Melvin's at 30, no. These days, if I make a mistake, I try and come back and say, hey, I know we misunderstood each other. This is not what I was trying to say, etc.
Wow.
So I think it comes with maturity like everything else.
30 years.
30 years.
Of this Melvin's tea.
Yes.
Kwanza asante sana. On behalf of Waluya.
Yeah.
But I love, let me tell you, and I'm not, in fact, when
explains why it does well in your area.
Clearly, lunches and tea, especially this part of around Kahega, Maragoli, because that's what we consume tea the most.
Yeah.
So when Shami, my head of marketing and communication and PR, when she told me let's bring Madam Flora, I was like, oh, Madam Flora, okay. Yeah, Monye Melvin's. I was like, Monye Melvin's. I was like, wow. So my fear was, usifikirie nasema hivyo juu uko hapa.
Yeah.
I was like, I wanted to really believe that I really do consume her brand and I love Melvin's tea. 30 years ago, many ladies would have gone into matters, maybe beauty, I don't know, maybe academics. What took
Maybe
you
employment.
Maybe employment, of course. And you look like you'll have done well even as a CEO for maybe a parastatal or private company. What took you into tea?
It's a bit of a long journey.
We got time. We got time, girl. We got time.
We
Bring
got
on the
time.
tea. Bring on the tea.
Let me start having mine.
Oh,
Mine is green tea mint.
green tea.
One of my
Wow.
favorite. Yeah,
Tangazi tingle anytime.
you know.
Talk to me.
So what happened is I did college and then I didn't get a career calling and I realized I want to get into. I didn't have the language for it and I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I just started. I started doing accounting because I was good at it. Got into an audit firm. I worked for 9 months, but I was very chaotic. You know, used to do minimum. When they tell me balance the balance sheet and it's out by 3 shillings, I say I'll pay the 3 shillings. I mean, I didn't enjoy what I was doing, but I didn't know what else. I hadn't opened my mind to what else. So I once met James McPhee in Strathmore when I was doing my CPAs, and he told me, "You're developing. I've watched you, and you're very mediocre in what you do." Literally, I just used to see that word pass, I'm happy. You know, I didn't care much. I never put in any effort. And so he told me, you're creating a habit that's going to follow you for the rest of your life. So that was my wake-up call. So I came home and I fired myself. I wrote a letter to my boss and I came home and proudly said, I've quit.
Did you have a plan B?
Not at all. Not at all. But I was in my mid-20s. So, you know, I was like, surely I'll make it work. Both my parents were serial entrepreneurs. My dad was a banker. He had started his own, one of the first African-owned banks. My mother was a serial entrepreneur. There's nothing she hadn't done. Nothing. From chickens to school bags to a school to a secretarial college, you know. And so I said, surely this is what I think I'm good at or I could do. And that's how I started the journey. So then it was, what are you going to do? And I was not sure. So they told me, first of all, we expected you to remain in corporate, you know, get married, get children, get a dog,
The
you know,
normal
all that.
tradition.
The usual, the normal. So when I when I sort of broke all that, they were like, okay, you show us what you're made of. So I was on my own. I was on my own in my mid-20s, still living at home, though I had a roof and I had food. So then I started, one day there was very dry salt, very wet salt. And I said, why don't we have free-flowing salt? And that's what led me to my first product, which is Melvin's free-flowing salt. I went up to Kabete campus. I learned how. So if you put in the salt shaker, it will actually empty, because you don't have to put rice and you have to put rice and and gonga. So I thought it was a great product. I thought I would be rich immediately. And when I sold the first dozen, I think it was 700 shillings. Then I went to a hotel. I was given 100 dozens. I thought, this is it. I think it was 30 something. I was like, oh my God, this is never going to make me any money. So, and I had borrowed money, first of all, because now I didn't even have money to do the business.
Who did you borrow money for?
My friend's mother. Okay, first for me to start the business, my own mother, my parents were not in agreement. So I went out and found a loan that you could secure. So what would happen is if you put security, they give you double. Collateral-based loan by IFC, but it was being given through the bank. So I came and said, listen, if you put money, then I'll be given double. But still my parents were like, uko peke yako, yon.
Well, let me ask, even before we get to the free flowing salt, you've quit your job.
Yeah.
You're back at home.
Yeah.
You're literally pretending with mom and dad. What is the conversation?
Nothing. It was duck and dive. They come home in the evening. I'm not there. I come in when they've slept. They used to sleep early, like 10. I come in after that. Then I make sure I leave after they've gone to work. It was duck and dive for 3 weeks.
Was there any probably any regrets that you had? Like, hey, maybe.
Oh, no. I had a bee in my bonnet. I had to get this working. I knew there was something I needed to do, but I was not clear. So I couldn't even, so about 3 weeks later, my mother said, come and see me in the office. So she said, what do you want? So I said, this is what I want. I found this, I found that. I told her I've learned how to make salt. I'm putting it in the market. So that's when she came out and gave me a little bit of funding. Then I was given. So at least I had enough to start. But I didn't have enough to pay for everything. So all I did is I went and to all my suppliers, I paid them a little bit. And then the rest I gave them checks, which I knew I had no money, but I'll figure it out as I'm going.
What was the drive? What is the drive behind you this time?
Because I can see my vision. I can see I'm going to put this product in the market. It's new. It's innovative. I'm going to be rich. Hey, who knew salt is so cheap? I mean, because remember, I was not having consultants. I hadn't thought this thing through. So then that's when I realized I have a problem. So when I delivered my 100 dozens, I met a hotel. They told me they're paying me 90 days. I said, 90?
90.
Sasa shida ikaanza.
LPO.
Yeah. So then I said, I'll wear them out. So that's when I went every day thinking I'm going to change their mind. And this gentleman just told me, we're not changing my mind. Then he started telling me how his mother's packing tea, a government monopoly had been lifted. They had the monopoly for 19 years. So the monopoly had just been lifted.
So there's a 19 years monopoly?
Yes. So it's been lifted. So I said, why can't I do this? And even now I knew this is it. So that was a Thursday. By Monday, so I asked the person, what do you know about tea? He says, all my friends are in tea. I said, where are they? Oh, tea is controlled in Mombasa. So quickly. There was no www that time, 30 years ago. So it was really what happens there. So you go there. So I went to the Tea Board of Kenya. I asked them what, they say you go there, you get registered as a packer, you have to be signed in by so many people. So I went, and the auction was on Monday. So I went to this one's friend, and then he took me around. One day, everybody just signed me up. But then they told me, Wewe, what are you trying to do? So I explained, sort of. You can imagine, I'm not even clear what I'm saying. So he asked me, what do you know about tea?
Because I'm thinking it's a rational idea. From salt to tea, pop.
2 days, couple of days. So then they said, we want to see you in the evening. So in the evening, they asked me, what do I know about tea? It's a very precise. You need a tea taster. I was telling them, gentlemen, it's okay, I'll learn. So they told me, no. You're really, really assuming this profession. So I, of course, I didn't show them. I was a bit fearful now. So I came back to Nairobi. Then I went home and I went to make my tea. Now, I couldn't take plain black tea. It was too boring. So I went, I looked for ginger. There was no ginger. So I went back to the shop. Then I came back. Then I started making the tea. And I'm just recalling the night before what they were telling me. I'm assuming, and I'm thinking, I'm in a crisis. I have to move in a one direction.
Something has to give.
So that's when I said, so why don't we have flavored tea in this country? So I went back now to Kabete campus the next day. I told the professor who had started teaching me food, whatever. I said, this is what I want to do. He said, this is doable. They're both dry goods. Just make sure. Then he taught me again about, making sure the blend size and everything. So he taught me all that. And I went back and I now procured more machinery and I started packing tea.
Dad and mom at this point, I'm really concerned about it.
Just looking at me like I'm not okay. But I guess they gave me the grace. They're both entrepreneurs. So I think risk-taking for them, now they're used a bit. Of course, they were showing the disappointment. You should have stayed in corporate. But I'm telling them, you guys have done something. Give me a chance. And
relax.
Relax, give me a chance. And
Are you firstborn?
No, I'm not. I'm a secondborn.
Because you need to be my firstborn. How many are you?
No, firstborn had started. Them, they were happy to support firstborn. He's a guy. They were happy. Now me, I'm a girl. So I think there was a little bit of and it's the first time I saw gender bias in our home. First time. So at first I was very confused. But because I was brought up to just be who I am, I just said, what's this? And I moved on and I proceeded. So then I started packing. One of the people I had met in Mombasa told me, blending is very precise. So what we'll do is we'll do a blend ratio with you. We agree. You show me the ginger. And so my blend used to come already done. So all I had to do is put it in packets, mix with the ginger and put it in packets. And I sell. So it was me and a staff member. Then I got a merchandiser to now start going around the supermarket. So first order, Chandarana as usual. They took the product. So the next one was Uchumi. I don't know if you were there those days.
Come on, please. I did gifts for Uchumi, really. I'm not that young. Come on. I'm not that young. Please. Even before we get there, do we have an office at this point? Or we are doing briefcase?
We have an office. Because what happened is, I think my mom one day reading the newspaper says, Diamond Plaza, they are giving out the office is very cheap. Let's go and take an office. But it's an office. Diamond Plaza, so upstairs, like second floor. So what we did is I had a blending machine about this size. We yanked it in the evening so people wouldn't see. Then when you press the machine, it just, so you run it very short. And then the rest is just packing. So that was for the salt. Then now when I started the tea, she's based in industrial area at KIE. She found an empty go down. And she got excited. I think now, when you're a serial, when somebody's entering your space, she got excited and said, okay, fine, come, I'll support you. Yeah, so she actually paid my rent for a year.
Wow.
Yeah, so paid my rent for 1 year. That time now I started panicking because I'm like, I don't need all this space. She said, you do. So I go to Uchumi, I call, they say, we want to, what did they say? We'll take your product. No, the man gives me a lecture for 45 minutes.
Hey.
Why are you doing this? You're a lady. You should have gotten married. I'm
Who's the
thinking,
CEO that
are
time?
you
Keep me
my...
teach?
No, it was before that. I can't even remember. It was the buying officer. So he starts, I mean, I'm looking at him and thinking, are you my father? But then he's a buyer. You know, buyers had so much power.
Yeah.
So I'm there, I'm quiet, you know. So I went home very depressed, thinking, if I'm not entering the biggest supermarket, because I didn't know where else to sell other than supermarkets. So he tells me, you know, he keeps quiet. Following morning, even before 8, he calls and says, I want that tea. I said, which one? The other one, not the plain tea. So Melvin's Tangawizi. He said, yes, bring me 20 cases. And that was my first order.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How much was it?
I can't even remember. Maybe 1,000 something.
How did it make you feel when you received that phone call?
That was exciting. That was really exciting. The fact that he wants this other one, which I was doing for security, because you see, this gentleman in Mombasa told me, don't assume. So I said, let me do the ginger one to secure myself. And that's the one that picked up. And it went and it went and it, you know, 20 within, I think, 2 weeks, bring again. And so now I started going to all the other supermarkets, you know, saying, you know, the largest supermarket has it, you don't have it. And slowly. So then it gets on the shelf. But then it doesn't get off the shelf because people don't know. I don't have marketing money. I don't have anything. So I said, how do I create demand so that I get this product moving? So I met a gentleman who told me, where do you sell? So I mentioned there may be 3-4 supermarkets. He said, but there's a whole other world called general trade. I said, what? He said, general trade. I said, what is that? He said, where you sell to a distributor, who sells to a wholesaler, who sells to a kiosk, in a like that.
It trickles
and
down
he,
to
and he
the
told
consumer.
me it's way bigger than modern trade. I'm like, aha. So then, so I wondered, how do I go through this? So I went to see the distributors. Of course, they're looking at me like, we don't know this product. We've never even heard about it. So I said, it's in Uchumi. That doesn't fly.
That should make you feel, that should buy you into the gospel.
But of course, they told me, no. You go and create demand. And then if people ask for it, so I said, that's the trick. So I started going into the market. So I knew all the markets. I think Friday was Kangemi market. Kawangware was Tuesday. So I literally used to go with thermoses, big thermoses of tea. And I make my tea and I go and sit with those mamas. And I used to tell my team, just one carton, because a carton had 200 pieces, 50 gram, which was 10 shillings. So I would go and talk in whichever language you want to talk in, you know, my broken language, and we'd sit with those mama and I say, this is tea. And they say, this is nice. So when I did it like 3 weeks in a row, you find they're waiting for you. Then they'll tell you, but I can't find this anywhere. So I say, where do you shop? Then I go to where they shop and I say, I've been told to come here. So slowly, then I started getting into the supermarkets, into the now the general trade.
Kiosk,
then from the general trade, then they told me, now we don't like buying cash. You go to the wholesaler. So I went to the wholesaler. Then that one tells me, we don't like buying from you. We'll go to the distributor. So that's how I sort of. And then I needed it to get it national. I mean, I needed to now come to you, Lunjes, and out in Kisumu and everything. So what I did is I changed my car. I got a pickup, a very ugly left-hand drive pickup. And I put a big dummy, you know, big like this, a big dummy on the back of the car. And written Melvin's, everything. So as I'm driving, people could, actually it was Tangawizi, and people could see it. And then you remember, you know, Juang and Maliwaza and that lot?
Maliwaza, yeah.
So I would pay them, pick them up on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I would even work on Sundays. And we'd go around the markets and they would talk about China, Dalazini, and what, you know.
But now, Flora,
and even run up the crowd.
By the time you have, that means this is your second car.
Yes.
So who buys the first car? Flora, you were spoiled.
I was not spoiled.
Come on, you had a car at that time?
See, I'm an auditor. I have a little bit of a car. I didn't buy it. I think we bought it with my dad. I was definitely not spoiled. Yeah, I'm not even being given money.
But okay, fine. I mean, you had the leisure of being jobless in your parents' house.
Yeah, but I made something of it.
Okay.
I could have chosen to remain there and wait for Knight in Shining Armor.
Do you even have a social life at this time before we get to Western?
Very little, because my Thursday, I'm in the market all the time. Then emails had come. I would send my staff emails at 2. And they say, what are we doing awake? I said, no, I had to get that idea out. You know, we're going to market like this. We're going to do this. And then I didn't even understand what is marketing. I mean, other than the theory that you did in school. So I met a friend through a friend, and she told me, listen, I have a full-time job. Come to her house every Saturday morning. So I went to her house every Saturday morning, maybe 6 Saturdays. And she taught me, this is how you market.
How old are you at this time?
Not yet 30. I started mid-20s. So about heading into 30 now.
So around 26, 27, you literally you're building a brand.
Yes.
So you're not out kunywaing, you're not out with some guys.
Of course I would have a good time. Hey, I'm human. Of course I'd have a good time. But I knew what my commitments were. So literally when I'm not doing that, that is what I was doing.
Wow. So now you.
And then remember, I've got pressure because now everybody's looking at me like, you quit, including my ex-boss, because I remember her telling me, whatever you do, you're going out there, build something with a legacy. Don't go and start doing this and that and this and that, and then in 10 years you have nothing to show.
Did she try to probably make you stay?
No. All she did is she gave me those words of wisdom. And she actually even wrote a forward there for me because, I mean, that was invaluable. She made me actually look at our previous clients and tell me, you see these people who are doing this and that. You will earn the money and then, build something that will follow you. That's something that you can have a legacy. So those are that one and James McPhee, great words of wisdom.
So now, what gets into your mind and say, you know what, I'm going to get the whole Vitimbi crew?
See, I've been taught marketing, you've got to attract the crowd. So how do I attract the crowd? If I stand there, they don't know me, my Swahili is broken, my Kikuyu is broken, I don't know Lunje. So, I mean, I had no choice. And they were not that expensive. You buy them lunch, you pay their accommodation, and I remember paying them I think it was 2,000-3,000 a day. It was not a lot of money. And all I would do is I would say it has to come from the sale. So we used to, before we leave, we would set ourselves a target and say, today we are selling 10 cartons. 10 cartons times 100 pieces, 1,000 pieces. Those are 1,000 new mouths. So that's all we did. Because I couldn't afford radio, I couldn't afford TV. Even posters, I couldn't really afford doing postering and whatever. So this was the only way that I knew how. So I did that for a season. And then merchandisers, those were quite a nightmare because you have to train them, then manage them. Those were expensive. So those ones I did very, very little. Now when Uchumi has made noise, you're not marketing the product. That is what I would do. But it took my own mother 4 years to buy my product solely. As not to buy somebody else's. She would buy a little bit maybe here and there. Not even to buy. She probably just needs to come to the factory and pick it up. Yeah. It took her that long because it takes time to build a brand, by the way, especially when you're bootstrapping like I was.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you have money, and today those people who start businesses, you can start hard, but I just didn't have it. And I had so much to learn. And the beauty about me, I'm a sponge. When I want to do something, I will pick up whatever information I need, and I don't mind where I'm getting it. I could call a top lawyer in this country and just say, I mean, there was one time I had a court case. I asked permission to shop paint, and I was given permission in writing. And then the couple, kumbe, were fighting. So I think I was taken to court by I can't remember, it was the husband or the wife. And I had a court case. And so I called one of the top lawyers and I just said, I'm in trouble. And he said, give me the letter. And he wrote just one letter. One. And that case went away. Otherwise, I was panicking. I was, So I have that.
You dig in.
Yeah, I dig in and try and make it work.
Oh. So mom buys your product after 4 years of establishment. What is her first honest statement?
No, she says, no, now I like it. My friends like it. Of course, there's always feedback. Oh, it's doing this, it's doing that, it's doing the other. Because sometimes I think a mistake we make as entrepreneurs is we always feel I've spent so much time and energy creating this product. It is perfect. But when somebody who's not emotionally attached can come and say, no, if you look at this, it's not precise. If you look at the tea was not. So one of the mistakes we made at the beginning is the tea was not shikaing properly. And I would complain to my tea taster and I would explain, but they would say, no, it should be good. Until one day, I actually now put a focus group together. Somebody I paid, and I told them, can I come? And that time, nobody knew me. So I was the scribe, I was the one writing the notes. And we went into a house, I can't even remember. And this lady called her neighbors, and they started charazaing teas, and, this is a good one. And when they got to me, mine, they started saying, here is shiki. It's like, what? No, the color, it doesn't come or whatever. And I was like, yeah, but I couldn't understand why. So then we asked, the researcher told her, let's go and make tea. So we went into her kitchen. and she takes the sufuria and she cuts a packet of milk. So in my head, I'm thinking, no, that's not how you do it. You're supposed to put water. Actually, if you want to make a perfect cup of tea, and maybe you guys know that, you do tea first.
Yes.
Water, tea, you let it brew and she can nicely.
Then you mwaga
the water. As she's done this way, I'm thinking, okay. Then she takes tea in her hand and pours a little bit and throws it in. Not even a tipimaing, just pimaing with the hand. And then
we always have that. It's like a miracle. It's like
it's a miracle, whatever. And then she passes it under the tap for water. I'm like, no wonder my tea can't shika. Because we do the African tea, which is very, very, it has a lot of milk, and milk now doesn't allow the tea to brew. So I went back to the office and I told them, this is the problem. We think people make tea this way, but people make tea this way.
The other way around.
Yeah, so that's when now we went and had to increase change our blend so that we now get tea that can actually do better when you do it in this manner. So this is a big mistake I know entrepreneurs make. You go to market with chest thumping like, I know this is a good product, but have you checked how your consumers use your product?
That's interesting. And I love how...
And it can be the same with your podcast. You're here doing all this, but maybe your consumers want to see it differently.
I really had to do a very keen study of how guys were consuming information. And I realized after COVID, the world doesn't care about, don't speak to brains anymore. People became a little bit emotional. So a brand has to speak to the heart. So I told myself, okay, fine. I need a podcast that will speak to the heart. I need to bring, if I'm going to bring Flora, then not Flora the CEO, Flora the human.
Yes.
So people can see there was a story to it.
Yes.
And maybe I think, probably that's how the success of the podcast has come to be. So you've really just proven me right on this one.
Do you know what percentage we use to make decisions between ration and emotion? How much of, when you're making a decision, what percentage would you give emotion and ration? Logic.
I think logic at times takes maybe 3% of, a big chunk is always the emotional part.
Yeah, it's 95-5. Emotion is 95.
Oof.
Then you use the 5 to justify the emotion, the 95. So you're very right. If you do business thinking about how people make decisions, you will definitely get a better product or service market fit easily.
Wow, I love that thinking. Let's go a little bit back. Before we get into campus, how is Flora growing up? Is she timid? Is she cheeky?
Very quiet. Shy. I think I still have that shyness, by the way.
Sorry, I have not seen it. Sorry, I have not spotted it at any point since you came in.
Imagine when I go into a room, I'm like, oh, do I have to be here?
Really?
Yeah.
But you're a public speaker. It's part of your bio.
It's easy to do public speaking. You come out and you know what you're going to say and you say it and you leave.
And you're gone.
But now when you go into this room and you're supposed to network, Kwanzaa cocktails, oh my days. They take everything out of me. Everything. So first I'll have to call and do I really have to be there? Who's going to be there? No. Especially if I'm not walking in with somebody. Wow, those ones they're tough. So I was very reserved, very shy, very unsure of myself. Yeah.
Was it because maybe are you a middle child?
Yes, I'm a middle child, yeah.
Was it probably because you're a middle child? Did you feel forgotten at some point because maybe you'll have just cocooned or caged yourself?
No, I think more or less my parents were high achievers and, it was go. Why can't you do this? My mother was a real go-getter. So I always felt, well, I'm not sure I can keep up with that. So I always, in fact, she says I was her most stubborn child. I would always not want to do what everybody's doing. But if people are going left, I'll go right. If people are going right, I'll go left. I always wanted to carve my own way, but more because I'm not that competitive either. How, and them, they were competitive, my mother, my brother.
Wow. So Shule, ulisumbua?
No, I just happily get through. Do what's expected. Don't ruffle any feathers. Don't draw attention to yourself. The quiet kid in the room.
So even funkies and everything.
Not much. I'll do what a normal child would do. I'll go to the hang. I'll very, very, very average. Very.
Oh, because I'm getting a lot of vibe. The vibe of you are comfortable with this. I've achieved the bare minimum, But then how do you end up with such a successful brand?
I'd say consistency. Just consistently building and doing and, learning. And I love it. I love what I do today. I love what I did then. And I love, since I made that turn, every day is exciting. Of course, it gets tiring. You get burnout. You chill out a bit. I've tried to sell my business twice, not once.
I was about to ask that.
Yeah, twice. It was just not working. Nothing was making sense. I couldn't pay my bills. I couldn't afford my life. I had moved out of home now. I couldn't pay my rent. So I was like, I think I'm not going to do this. But I had no clue what else. So then I started doing those things I had been warned about, trading. Nasikia dega inaenda wherever I go. And I look for what can I take back to Kenya, pay my bills, go back, and I had fun. And I saw the world. I went to any country. I wanted to go to Italy. I wanted to go to America. I wanted to go to Germany. I go. But Melvin's was still going on. So that's why I'm saying the consistency of building a brand, learning. I was in any school of learning that was there, whether it's HR, whether it's what.
You were there for it.
These consultancy that comes, we are here to support SME. I'm inside. So I spent a lot of time doing a lot of that.
As an auditor yourself, the first time you wanted to sell Melvin's, how much was Melvin's worth at that time?
Not much. I just started. I was barely paying my bills. I had penetrated a couple of supermarkets, but we never even got there because I didn't show up. I didn't show up for the meeting.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night, I was like, if somebody wants to sell, Kwanzaa, it was an Asian. Also, my mother said, I keep saying, I need to carpet my mother to see whether it was really there. Because she's the one who said, I found a buyer. We're meeting tomorrow at 10. Then tomorrow at 10, I just don't show up. And there were no mobiles, so she couldn't find me. Then she asked me later. I said, no, I changed my mind. Twice, not once.
What? So the second one, what had happened? Because at least the first one is understandable.
Yeah, but again, it wasn't working. So she says, shall I call up the same person? Or, I said, it's not working. But then I didn't go to work for a year, 1 full year. Just didn't. So fortunately, being the serial entrepreneur she shrank the business. We went to a shopping center. We took a room in a shopping center, divided it, and we continued doing production and sales. But in that 1 year, it clicked. Because I remember going back, I was actually called to the bank to sign off. I think we were signing off some new terms or something. So I asked them, let me see these accounts. And they're like, ask them, whose bank account is that? Really? This is what has happened. So then I decided, let me go back and grow up and put on my big girl pants and go to work. So I went back.
Wow. Would you sell Melvin's now?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Because I'm pretty sure your bank account right now is what I said.
It's not what it was.
It was not what it was at that time. My goodness. So you've gotten into the market. You're a young lady.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly you're onto something, but you don't know what you're doing, but it seems to work. Mm-hmm. But there are these other big boys in the game. Some of them are actually backed by the government. So how do you get intimidated? Were you getting intimidated? I mean,
not at all.
Ketepas are here and
Not at all. It will take a lot to intimidate me, by the way. Not at all. I keep saying that's your path. This is my path. So you see, me, I done my flavor. So I went into flavor. So of course now the day they started picking up flavors, now I went into sheer panic. Whew. But there was nothing I could do. So all I told myself is just perfect your game, stay true to your values, market as much as you can, and there's enough for everybody. And there has been up to now.
Have you ever met some of those CEOs in a circle?
Yeah. The association is not big. I mean, there's some we speak, even just up and recently as yesterday. Yeah, we speak about each other's product. I remember meeting one CEO, he says, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you in the market. And I said, out of everybody you want to kill, why me? And he says, you know how Johnson & Johnson started like a small brand, and before anybody knew it, it was big. So I'm not taking you for granted. In my mind, I was like, well, at least I'm important enough. to
That's
want
a
to be
compliment. I know you're going to kill me, but at least...
But before he could kill me, then he left as CEO, I think. I don't know. It was his time, so he left. And then the new one, whether they wanted to kill me or not, maybe I never got the story.
Wow. When it comes to employment, from where you sit as a founder and as a CEO, do you still have your first ever, like the first bunch of your first ever team?
Maybe not that long ago, but we're celebrating 30 this November. We have somebody who has been with us 25 years.
25?
Yeah.
Why do you think they have stayed?
I guess we must be doing something right. And then some has 14, some 10, and then some newer ones. These millennials, these are the ones we are worried about, whether we are going to A, employ them and B, keep them. Because they are very fluid.
I thought Gen Zs are...
Sorry, Gen
Zs.
Zs, yeah. They are very fluid. So that one is... But I'll leave that.
How do you deal with them?
We don't have many, but the few we have, you just try and crossbreed them. So make sure they belong to a team where they're older. So they bring their skill and actually try and make sure they bring their skill on the table. But also know they're very short-lived. Although this is a time where we should also be systemizing, automating a lot of things. So it's not going to be held by one person like before. Before one person used to pass knowledge to another one. At least that was the knowledge we had.
Yeah.
But now we've been there 30 years. So we've documented a lot, systemized a lot, automated quite a bit. And we continue to do so.
Which is the most interesting conversation or probably issue that has ever been brought on your table by the HR concerning a Gen Z? You're like, this one I have to handle it as a mom, not even as a boss. This one I have to handle it as a mom.
It was a sad story. It was a young boy who was over drinking. And they wanted to fire him. And I told them, don't you see there's a problem? It's not about firing him. Firing him for what? What will happen? So we got in touch. Actually, you're right. I got in touch. My HR helped me. We got in touch with the family. We realized he was an orphan, but he had been taken over. The aunties were trying to bring him up. And I said, I know this problem. Because I remember seeing my mom, one of my aunties runs a rehab. So I remember those conversations in the home. So I said, I asked the auntie, can you guys deal with this person? And she said, oh, nisumbua sana, It was a very sad story. So we tried. And the boy said he'll reform. I introduced him to my auntie. And they started talking. And then, and he did pretty well. And we kept him. And then Christmas came. And I think Christmas is a tough time for those kind of people.
Yeah, there's no family.
And we never found him again. Never came back, even took off with some of our assets. That was a really sad story.
Wow.
So I keep wondering, could we have done it? But you see, you can't take somebody's child to rehab. Somebody's child. Or somebody else's. So, yeah, that was a sad one. And I'm seeing a lot of alcoholism in employment. Very, very sad.
Is there too much pressure?
Yeah, maybe a little bit of hopelessness, but more coping mechanisms because alcohol is a symptom.
Yeah.
So it's a coping mechanism. So what is it you're not coping with and how do we help? So I'm glad COVID brought up a lot of shrinks and psychologists. And actually, if you don't have a therapist, it's not cool, So I'm really glad that has happened. Insurance companies are doing a lot. So we try and do the little we can, but it's something that really, really worries me in our society to do. And especially Kenya. I won't say especially Kenya. On Sunday, I was taking my son for golf. And we were passing Kiambu Road. We were going to the Windsor. I couldn't even pass there because of people coming out of those clubs. There are several clubs across there, following this
there's always a club coming up on Kiambu Road.
Yeah, so I really just thought, wow, Poleni, you're so young to be doing this. I mean, we clubbed. Don't get me wrong. We did.
Yeah, I was about to ask you.
I don't think we did it like that. Wait. It's a lot. So anyway, I'm glad there's all these therapists and help. And me, I just tell anybody, if you feel any pressure, go and look for a therapist. It's a cool thing. In our days, by the way, if you say you're whatever, they'll ask you, are you crazy?
Flora, mimi uja kusikia story ya therapist juzi. Me, I'm from the slums.
Yeah.
You life is hard. You wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
You call that problem, face it. This thing
but
at now,
they're
at
not-
now, at
they're
your
not
legs
as
are there.
many as people who are strong as you. Even Uko slums, there are people who are still very addicted.
But we didn't know about therapy.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's such a beautiful thing that it came
Oh
up.
God. Me umetaja therapy na ukataja kupeleka mtu hii golf, and I was like, clearly we come from two different worlds. The hell you taking a kid for golf? Because for us we didn't understand. The first time I had therapy, I think it was actually after high school when I had the whole concept. As you just go sit
And
on
it
like a couch, like, so tell me about your childhood.
Oh, you're lucky. Me, the one I knew is very, very recent. Therapists used to be for mad people. So if you say something, I'm going to a therapist, they say,
Madare.
Madare.
What?
It was not cute like how it's being made cute now, which is a good thing. And let's agree, it's a good thing.
Yeah. I've not been to one, but I agree. It's a cute thing. I had a therapist for a girlfriend, so it's a cute.
You see, so you still had it on free
But
services.
that's why we broke up actually.
Because they were always therapy.
Because I have a low background.
Okay.
And of course she was a shrink.
Yeah.
And we never used to have very meaningful. Our arguments were too learned.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I'll be there ranting, babe, I don't like what you did. Like, babe, relax. So you told me your mom left you. And I'm like, God damn.
I'm not the patient.
Not the patient, I'm your boo-boo. Stop it.
Yeah, that can be a lot.
But I like how you said it, that it's people are using alcohol as a coping mechanism.
Yeah, it is.
And maybe because Kenyans, we actually find pride in being praised across the world that we can drink.
And there's no pride in it. It's not even a cool thing. So you enjoy your drink, have enough, go home. And if you find you can't do that, find out, go behind it a little bit.
Would you wish for your kids to drink?
Yeah, if they can control it, if they can enjoy it,
Why not?
why not?
Marriage?
For them to be married or me?
No, I'm saying like the world is really fighting the marriage agenda right now.
Which is very unfortunate.
Well, what is your thought? What is your thought around a workable marriage?
A meeting of the minds first. Are you compatible? Are you, one doesn't feel insecure. One doesn't feel I'm more lonely, lowly than you are. So a meeting of the minds, friendship, and I think less expectations. There's too much expectations being put on marriage, on partnerships. Like now, if you and I hook up, I'll say, you're the one doing this and I'm the one doing this. We agree. We agree who does what and supporting each other.
Is 50-50 a concept?
It can be. It can be. And I think it totally depends on who you have. Because there's some people, their egos are so big that if they're not let's say it's a man, if they're not the ones providing, they feel less of a man. So again, if that is your partner, then you have to respect that and let them provide. So it really, really depends on it. And I say that's what I talk about. It's about knowing your partner. But also the decision you make on who your partner is one of the biggest decisions you make in your life. And it can be a make or break decision. So I keep telling people, be careful, think it through, take your time. Yeah. Know what you're doing, do premarital counseling, make sure you're friends, make sure you remain friends. It's very easy to just deviate. This one is busy, this one is busy. It's very easy.
Because I was about to ask her, even how do you balance yourself by pushing such a big vision behind Melvin at the same time, even balance being a mom and even just family?
Just knowing your role, number one. So I keep saying women, we are nurturers. So the home is my responsibility. Just making sure emotionally people are okay. You have a place to call home. It's a happy place. That's a role that I would not really expect my husband to play. If he played it, it would be okay. But I also need to know it is still my role. So that, and then knowing what are glass balls, what are rubber balls. I had a pastor friend who describes it very well. So she says, rubber balls are the ones that can drop, kazi, some friendships, nini. But glass balls are those children, your husband, time with them, family time. So knowing that, what's important, what's not. So there are times I have boundaries. I remember when I was chairperson of Kenya Association of Manufacturers, there was a meeting that was just not convenient for me. And I asked, can this meeting be changed? And they accepted, which is great.
But I mean, you were the chair at that time.
No, it wasn't because of that. I was the smallest company. I was a female. They really didn't need to listen, but they did. So it's really just doing what works and knowing what works and knowing where to draw the line. And like we said, there's no work-life balance. It's work-life harmony. I learned that the other day. I'm very proud to use it.
Look at how you smiled on that one. Work-life
harmony. Yeah, because there are times literally your calendar will not allow you to attend to everything you want to attend. But then now you come and make up. And then also knowing, like, let's say the years my children were examining years, those years I stepped back a couple of things. Maybe change your gym time, change your friendship times and everything so that you're with them in the evenings to make sure that they're reading, or wake up with them in the morning just to make sure that they're doing their work. So it's really just knowing, having the wisdom and praying to have the wisdom to know what to balance and what not. You'll drop the ball a couple of times. Also learning to forgive yourself is another thing, because there's no point wallowing in grief. Is not going to help anybody.
Forgiving yourself. I don't think people really understand the concept behind really forgiving themselves.
It's a hard thing to do.
I think it's always about nimekusamea, sitakusamea. Then you realize, hey, the day I forgave myself, I cried in my house like a fool.
Really? I'd like to know what you're forgiving yourself.
No, I think it's because I denied myself so much in life.
Yeah.
See, because I was very self-reliant.
From a young age.
Because I was just born, and before you know it, in a couple of 7 days, my folks have chanted, and I'm now in Kakamega, and dad is not there, mom is not there.
Yeah.
So I really grew up taking care of myself.
Yeah.
And I realized...
With your grandparents?
No. It was just leo niko kwa auntie fulani Malava, niko sijui wapi, some realize, some even not even realize.
Oh, but congratulations, you've done a great job.
Well, now that is what I had to forgive myself, because I realized, even when it came to relationships, I used to bend out with a grill.
Hold back.
Yeah, so I'm like, usiingie sana. Sababu
trust.
Unaweza enda.
You didn't used to let them in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I had to really break off from that and say, you know what? I actually don't need people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even my PAs, I was very quick at, I'm like, neza handle diary, by the way.
The what?
Neza handle events zangu diary schedule.
Yeah.
Neza handle way share. Na think unanisumbua. So I had to get to a point where I had to really say, you know what? I need to let people and also let God. So because I even battle with issues about faith.
Let go and let God, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So ndio niko na imani na God, lakini na hapana kitu naweza ifanya. God ana take time.
And you know he's never late.
And he's never late. But you see, humans, we don't understand about that thing. We don't understand that our timing is not his timing.
That's true.
He has a different Big Ben clock from ours.
Yeah.
Let me ask. But you cook.
Yes, I do. Poorly though. I used to be a great cook. By the way,
You're being over-honest. I don't like it. You're being over.
These days, I'm just out of practice. I'm literally out of practice. But I do. I used to. In fact, my husband tells me I conned him. Because when I moved out of home, I wanted to prove to myself that I can live alone. So I had no house help. The only thing I couldn't do is wash clothes. Oh my God, I hated that. So what I would do is just bundle them up on Sunday, take them home, pick up last week's and come back. But cooking, I cooked for him right through. I cooked for my guests. I used to even like calling people. I like good food. But then when I got married and got busy and children came... In fact, if I enter the kitchen today, the maid will be like, how can I help you? You know? Yeah. So I remember one Christmas we came from Mombasa and I decided to cook for the kids. Kwanza I did ugali, I think, and I can't even remember, liver and something. And they were like, Mom, you can cook.
What? Oh, come on.
So it's something I'll do when I slow down. When I slow down, I'll go back. And even baking, I could bake an 8-tier cake.
This is hata huko hapo.
Yeah. Kichwa imeenda. Too busy. You're thinking of this, that, where is the book, where is my, you know.
But what is that one thing we maintain that you do for your hobby that you still used to do from day one? And Tito Domas my This one this Kemodo still has to feel special. So no matter my busy, this one I still have to do it until today.
Well, we used to do a date night every Friday. And he's the one who chose Fridays. So that we've maintained. Okay, now with the kids older, you know, with cold weather, but it's something we try to do. Trips, we both like traveling. We both like golf. So
Oh, I like how you're putting it. Matters God.
Very special man in my life.
I hope the ladies are watching. My goodness. You go to church?
I go to church. I go to Nairobi Chapel.
Nairobi Chapel. Wewe ni ule kuomba kama wa Nigeria ama yako ni ile. Dad, I'm here.
Well, I'm not.
Thank you for the business.
No, I'm not the Nigerian type. Remember I told you I'm still that shy person.
Even in front of God?
Well, what's the drama?
She'll ask Nigerians.
But then they're not that dramatic. I went May 1st. I was in Nigeria speaking at Pastor Poju's church. It was not dramatic at all.
Oh, Poju,
He's great, huh?
I've ever since Rema Feast.
Yes.
I've been watching him constantly.
He's great.
He's an amazing man.
Yeah. So we went to one of his churches because I did the talk for him, and then I said, I cannot leave Nigeria without going to one of your churches. And I went, and it was very normal. It was very similar to Nairobi Chapel.
So how when you wanakuja hapa?
I guess you've always got to have extremes. And there are people who like it. There are people who like drama. I've just never been that person.
How do you settle? How do you settle yourself when it comes to choice of circles and friendship? Because now it's interesting. I mean, Vusi and then Pastor Poju, who are amazing minds. How do you get yourself in those circles? How do you get to decide this is the kind of person that I want them in my phone book, in my contact list?
Oh, wow. Okay. Remember I told you I have no issue reaching out when I need something from someone. So I think if you come into my space, okay, so first of all, I did Melvin's, then I got invited to a couple of boards. So a lot of people, corporate Kenya, that's how I've met them. Somebody like Poju, he reached out to me. I don't even know how he got my number. And he said, I want you to come to Nigeria. That's how I got to know him. So from then, we've remained just, phone friends and stuff. Vuzi, again, in corporate Kenya, he was doing a keynote and I was in the same function. Then we had dinner together with, some minister in, just like that. It's more or less in my life as I'm going. I don't sit down and say, this is the person I'm chasing now. No. If you come into my life somehow. But I've done a lot. I've served a lot as well. So when you're serving, you do meet a lot of people in corporate Kenya, Yeah, because I was in the private sector for a long time.
But what values do you look into when in terms of friendship?
Well, meeting of the minds. People we can have a nice conversation. I also have, but you have different types of friends. I don't know if you're not like that. I have friends who just make me laugh and we talk nonsense. And it's important. And then there are other ones where we talk business, and then there are other ones where we talk matters, family, life, etc. But the ones that, stick very close to me, I'm also very close to my cousins. So, just a whole cocktail of friends.
I like that part of those ones who just meet to talk nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, and they're important.
Very.
There are times where you just feel apana. In fact, Friday, like a Friday when the things have just been too hard, you look for that one and you just go and talk complete nonsense. Tomorrow morning, even if somebody asks you what were you talking, you don't even know. You don't know. But they make you laugh. Do
you have one in mind?
I haven't seen her in a long time, but I have a friend. We call each other Didi. Just a funny friend.
Cartoon
proper. Proper.
Let's get back to the office as we finish.
Yeah.
What will be the easiest way to, how do I put it, to encounter failure in a company? Like kuangusha, yani, as a founder, what should be the easiest way to angusha a company?
Thinking you know it all and not listening to feedback. And feedback in so many fronts. So you come up with a product. So you say you have this bright idea. And you say, I'm going to take this to market. And then you put it in the market. And then you go and borrow against it because you know it's going to work. But you're not listening to your customer. You're not listening to your even to your own staff. You're trying to force it into the market. Today I keep saying we are living in such a world of abundance that you have to be very connected with your customer to know what problem am I solving in this person's life. Because again, the more you know about that, the more you're able to connect to them and the more you're able to attract others. So if you don't listen to that, to their feedback, then you'll just keep churning out stuff and wondering, why is my product not gaining traction? And then feedback again, even in your own processes. There are times we have had a very, I'm not saying just, but you'd have just a production person telling you, but if you do this and this and this, you'll save this much time or you'll save this, whatever. So it's feedback. And sometimes I keep telling people, even no feedback is feedback. Yeah, like when I was writing this book, I wrote it quickly, 4 months. Got it all out because the editor I had was telling me just brain dump. Then I gave it to some friends. Nobody came back to me.
Oh.
Radio silence. So I knew that is also feedback. So then I came back and I tried to unpack it, and we tried to unpack it, and we tried to unpack it until now I met another editor who said, this is the Actually, I went to a friend and then she said, this is the problem. And so we went to another editor and then we unpacked until now we came out with that. So had I stuck and said, yeah, here it is taken to print, it would not have worked.
I like that.
And I also think humility to then take that feedback and make it work. So just to say, I don't know, and I'm okay to listen to you and to make a change based on what you're saying. Because today it's for you to, you fit in as you're growing and as you're doing what you're trying to do.
Beautiful. Conflict resolution within the company. Because I've seen, I think many founders, visionaries, or bosses, CEOs, whichever senior title you have at that time, are very quick at, we are amefanya nini? Panda. Which would be the best way to handle?
Well, today the labor law doesn't even allow you to do that. You'll find yourself with being taken to court pretty easily. It's very pro-employee. But also you realize from a human point of view, so I have fired you unceremoniously like that. What happens? You become hostile to the company, you become hostile to us, and you go to your next gig or job or whatever. Have I helped you? Have I helped myself?
No.
So walking people through the journey, like, listen, this is what we agreed. This is not what you're doing. 1, 2, 3. By 3 now, even you yourself, unaona this. In fact, I like it when people just say, it's okay, let me go. Because now they've understood they're the ones not delivering. And hopefully you've helped that person grow. Of course, this comes with maturity. But you know me, I could never fire. I couldn't fire.
They shy you.
My mother used to come and fire for me because I used to think, Kai, because remember, first of all, I was the youngest in my own organization. Today I'm the oldest, it's different. But that time I was the youngest. So I was thinking, now this 30-year-old person, how do I fire them? Because they're not doing their work. I didn't know too much about that performance-driven whatever. So I'd say this one needs to go. So my mom would have to come and do all that for me. So I learned from her as well. And after I fire them, I don't even go to work for 4 days, just in case I find them somewhere.
What? What kind of a trauma is that? I think you moved on a job. See any job. Sorry. It's like you're helping them to stay at home.
I know.
For a while.
I know.
I'll fire you and then I'll be at home with you for 4 days.
I can't do this.
Can you still do it even now?
No, now I can. But we have HR that does it. Yeah, but now I can.
Still you feature, you might.
I prefer not to do it because there's just something also about being a CEO. It's better it's done by HR, I think. But if you directly report to me, I will do it, definitely. So the people who directly report to me, and we'll walk the journey together. And I'll be very clear. This is not working. And this is the reason why. And how long do you think you need? And then we go and go and go. So eventually somebody will just tell you, actually, it's okay. You know how they tell you don't hire aptitude, you hire attitude. You don't hire for the competent, hire for attitude. Because if you have somebody with a bad attitude, means they're not teachable. And if you're not teachable, then you're of no use to me.
I'm heading for a staff meeting right now, and my staff are not lucky. Today, I'm really going to shake them up in that office.
But shake them up by showing what they're not doing. There's no point shaking them up saying, nothing is working. Yeah, You know, our boss is like banging the table. No. Why? What is not happening? Like yesterday, we had a crisis. Two deliveries had not come in, which was stopping orders to export orders. So I was one of those banging the table. But I was banging the table as I was telling them, guys, my problem with you guys right now is urgency. There's no urgency in this matter. Can you send a doodie to go pick that up? Can you call so and so and so and so and so and so? So you see, you're guiding as much as they can see you're upset.
Yeah, I did a very long voice note yesterday. None of them replied.
Ooh-wee.
I was really pissed.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
really pissed.
Yeah.
But so I just saw things happening.
Yeah.
Nobody replied.
Yeah.
But I just
but
saw
things were happening.
Yeah, I just saw posters zimetoka na
Yeah.
unashell me amepigia mtu pale pinki. I was like,
Yeah.
Okay. I see you guys. I see you guys.
But if you want them to reply, you should also just say that no message should go unreplied. Just say noted. So you at least get... Communication is so important if you want to keep good relationships. Conflict resolution is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Communicate and just say, I don't expect silence. I appreciate that you are working behind the scenes, but you just need to say noted, or I apologize, this slipped, and I shall do better. Because you also want your temperatures to be calm. There's no point you getting upset and then today you spoil your work.
Wow. Is Melvin's your biggest success?
Well, I guess I don't have another business to compare it to. Although now I have started mentoring and coaching entrepreneurs. Yeah, because I want people to scale up their businesses. Africa has got too many small little businesses. We need to scale up and build big businesses. And we can't do that by everybody. I meet an entrepreneur, there are 4 businesses. Why? Because this one wasn't working. Then I decided then I saw an opportunity and then I did this with John. I'm like, why? Why can't we sort out which one do you want to sort out? Or can we combine them all into one? And actually, but I think my bigger, what would you call it? Excitement is that I'm pouring my 30 years into people. That's been my biggest excitement. So the book is a start.
Yeah.
So that's for more people. And it's a playbook. So if you want, you can look at the sales chapter. Let me look at the marketing chapter. Let me look at the leadership. Because I've come out with 11 different principles that I believe need to be in place for a business to last and to build legacies. We also need to build legacies in this Africa and Kenya. Why do businesses die with people? The other day I went to buy a mattress. The company I was dealing with, gone. Yesterday I was asking the company I was dealing, gone. I'm like, why? Why can't we have businesses that last? Can we not build businesses with legacies? So this is the beginning of it. I'm hoping Melvin's will be a legacy business. And I want to pour out what I have so that others can stand on my shoulders. The same way my mother was there for me. How can I be there for others to grow their business, but to grow big businesses? See, utoto, small, 5 businesses. No. Let's get one and grow. Why can't we see pro studios in East Africa, in Nigeria, in South Africa? Why? And congratulations, your following is amazing.
Oh.
Amazing.
Thanks, madam. Why I'll be, and please allow me, with your permission. There are guests who I never check their numbers and contacts. Once we're done with the interview, thank you so much.
See you later.
And now we have a familiar friendship. If I meet you at an event, hi.
Yeah.
But yours, I'll text me because I'm rebranding myself as Dr. Ofweneke. That's why we were having the conversation, the banter about me dropping the whole Nigerian accent. There's a new Ofweneke that I'm unveiling from next year. So I'm dropping the whole comedian and the whole... And I really want to get into the public speaking space, into corporate training.
But don't lose the comedian bit. Oh my gosh.
Well, it comes it comes as part of the personality.
Yeah.
But it's not what I want to be identified by anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like there's more that I've learned. There's more that I can offer the world. And that is just my next frontier that I'm interested in. That's why I really follow Vusi. I don't know if he really knows that.
Yeah.
But I really follow him that much because I want to get into that space. And I feel like I'll be a good student.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm going to be on your case.
Fine. I have a whole program. I call it Scale Masters for people to scale their businesses. It is important for them to scale their businesses because we can't keep doing this. We can't. Father dies, business out. No. Let's see what we can do. Whether we are going to sell them in the middle, bring in young blood, whatever it is. And then you've got 1 million people coming into the job market per annum. And they're not getting jobs. So how many of those can we try and interest to become entrepreneurs? And where can they plug themselves in? So it's a whole conversation I want to have. So far, I'm enjoying it. I love it. I've done 5 cohorts, and I continue to do so.
Amazing. Flora, thank you so much.
All right, my pleasure. It's been great. It's been fun as usual.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. But I haven't had the comedy side. I don't know. Do you crack jokes? How do you
No,
know?
the lessons is very subtle. Lessons is very chilled out. I'll be emceeing your 30 years. So that's when we'll laugh. Thank you so much. I'll be sending
You'll
the
be
quotation.
surprised. We are not doing a celebration.
Why?
We did
30.
We did a 25-year celebration. It was lovely. Unfortunately, it was during COVID. We had a high tea, beautiful. But then when the other day they asked me, can we have another one? And we even booked the location and we were already doing the planning. I said, how many people can I celebrate with? 200, 300, 400? How many consumers do I have in Kenya? So we turned it around and did a gratitude, Melvin's win at 30. So even now, you can take a picture of our barcode, send it to our WhatsApp number that we have that we can share with you, and enter a raffle. And we are just thanking all our consumers. So, TVs, radios, we do radios, whatever they're called, subwoofers, those things. We're just gifting our consumers. I think we have 3 prizes for 60 days, every day.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Though you've denied me employment, but that makes sense.
Well, we can give you a gift.
No,
we're calling it Win at 30. So we want
I'm the first of lunges. And I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
Also, just as a gratitude to the lunges, you can also just have their son as the face. Anyway.
So win, and then you'll be there on the poster saying, I did.
Melvin's.
That's
a unique concept. All right, but thank you so much.
55-inch TV. It's not a bad gift.
Wow. Entice. Flora, stop it.
Just go to WhatsApp. We will give you the number right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, such a beautiful, easy conversation, of course, with a lot of wisdom and knowledge into it. Where can they find the book?
Wow. Online, I think on our LinkedIn pages, Flora Mutahi. That's where we have it for now.
All right.
We are going around the bookshops. We haven't gotten there yet.
All right.
So on there'll be a number where they will just deliver to them.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Guys, it's very neat. I cannot wait to go and read it. And yes, just in case you are doubting, it's already been autographed by herself. Dear Dr. Ofweneke, enjoyed Brewed to Last, an entrepreneur's playbook for building a lasting legacy. Then she has a beautiful message for me there. Keep building with purpose. The world needs what you are creating. I'm not in your level anymore. My level has just gone to all my exes. This is why you should have stayed, because now the more you didn't stay, the more my level is going higher. Ladies and gentlemen, from now onwards, and now more than ever, I'll be enjoying my Melvin's tea, now with a face to it. And thank you so much.
Let me say one more thing as you're climbing levels.
Yes.
And it's what you were saying about businesses. We are very good at growing our businesses. So you're saying, yes, you want to grow this. You want to grow your numbers. You want to whatever. I need you to think about scaling. It's different. Scaling, you leverage.
Okay.
You don't necessarily just push harder. You're actually now saying, what can I automate? What can I change? If I'm going to market with my products, can I use distributors as opposed to doing it myself? That relieves you, because then you have several different countries doing several different things. What tools can I use? What partnerships can I have with people that can make me grow exponentially? So it's not about working harder. It's about working smarter. And that's what is my passion to bring to you guys. So I need you to move to that level with a scaling mentality.
I hear you, madam.
As you leave your girlfriends.
No.
We need to marry you off.
Hey.
We need to marry you off.
What is wrong with you and Jimmy and Jiggy with me and marriage?
That might become my mission. Nianze kuangalia nice lunje girls. You can also come to our side. Pretty enterprising. Tuko. Nitachukua profile.
Wachana mimi. At least I can make tea for myself. I'm good with that.
We'll get you one who even makes tea for you. And introduce you to other Melvins. Umeanza na tangawizi, iko masala, iko cardamom, there are so many other things. Cinnamon.
Are you doing this, Flora? Are you seriously doing this?
Ukienda kulala, there's chamomile to relax you. Ay, daktari.
No, I think I blame...
With a rebrand comes new things.
By the way, but I'm actually blaming my Shelmy and Pinky, my PA. Because I think they make my life so easy that at times nasahau kudate.
Yeah. So what do you do in the evenings?
I hang out with my boys, then go home and sleep. I'm very deep in prayers of late. So most of the time, if I'm not in the office or in the studio for my radio show, I'm just deep in a place of prayer.
Now, there are so many pretty young...
Wapi? Place of prayer. Ni ma angels, but siwezi wa direct.
That is a good shopping ground.
I've really been in a place of prayer.
Because you also want somebody meeting of the mind. So that is a great shopping ground.
But I must admit, it's actually part of the prayer request that I'm telling God.
Great.
I want a wife who
is prayerful.
Our kingdom assignment is aligned. Because God told me, I can give you a wife for now, or I can give you a wife for your destiny.
Yes.
Because I'm also getting in a very, I didn't want to tell you this, but now you're pushing me to say it. I'm getting into a very deep spiritual space of my life. And I'm in the process of accepting a call.
Yeah.
And God told me, why I'm sending you.
Yeah.
You need a woman who will really guide you back at home in terms of prayers. So I'm at a place whereby beauty, education, achievements in a woman is just not it. For me, that's not just what it is for me. I'm looking for in-depth with God.
And you'll get it. It's there. And you can get the whole package too. But we know, I mean, pray. I also am very deep. I also believe very much in prayer. And he has come through for me in many, many different ways.
I feel like this podcast is not enough for a conversation.
We can take it offline.
No, we'll get some time. Ladies and gentlemen, Brewed to Last. Make sure you get the book. Get on all our social media platforms. Make sure you get the book. If you cannot afford the book, then get into your mobile phone, download Koro loan app. Get some money, go get education. That is worth it to take a loan. I mean, this is intelligence. This is wisdom. This is a script that you need to use. If you're an aspiring CEO, aspiring to get into any leadership position, this is what you need. It's a guidebook. So you need to get it, right? And again, once you do so, enda ununue shamba kako, hiyo shamba yako kando, soma kitabu. We must get shambas. Remember, again, when you talk about legacy, it's actually even comes in terms of ownership as well. Wezi kuwa baba yako ana shamba, babu yako akuwa na shamba, babu ya babu yako akuwa na shamba. Inheritance is not your own. It's just an inheritance. Invest in your own skill utamu. Get to username properties. Get a shamba for yourself. All right? And ladies and gentlemen, proudly brought to you by Lemfi. My name is the eagle himself, the Duke of Kakamega. Dr. Ofweneke is my name. Of course, a special shout out to Vusi, please. I'm a big fan. I watch what you're doing. And I was told that your icon, you're always one person away from your icon.
Okay. I will pass your message.
Please do.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Guys, see you again on the next one. That has been a class enough for today. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The euphoria around town is crazy.
Koro kwa kila mtu. Guys, Koro wanna sort all types of people. Mama mboga, Koro. Nduzi guy, Koro. Office lady, Koro.
I just received my cash from Koro. Just quick and easy.
Download Koro and say hello to easy lending.